Welcome back to Civilization Beyond Earth, Rising Tide Expansion. I'm Chris Cavalier. So we are playing a tutorial to try to figure out how to get set up and going within Civilization Beyond Earth, just so you can have a competitive start. And I'm not saying it is the best start, or it's the only way to do things. I'm just saying it is a way that you can get moving into the game, and you can be fairly competitive. You can have some military strength. You have a little bit of everything. As you can see right now, we're a little bit hurting on the whole health issue. But like I said, sometimes when you're trying to push the envelope a little bit, your health is going to suffer. Of all the things to suffer, health is definitely the one to have suffer. If you have no culture, you're going to really hurt. If you have no energy, you're going to hurt. If you have no science, it's game over. So I think we're doing pretty good. So we have Central up to size 7. We have Axiom at 3. We could actually even look at possibly changing one of these into a different type of tile improvement instead of a farm, and maybe working the culture angle a little bit more. But I think we may just keep it at what it is we don't have a whole lot of good food producing tiles. Maybe I could be wrong. We could take a look. Yeah, there's some plains, so if we put a farm on them, it's going to be like 2 food, 1 production. If I go out here and actually change these, I think we would have, what would that be? It would probably be like 2 food, 1 production, 2 energy, and then it would be like 1 culture. And that may be a trade-off that we want to do. We'll think about it. Excuse me. Alright. So what we want to do is just kind of take a look where we're at. Okay, so my explorer is the one with hit points. The Franco-Iberian explorer is on the verge of dying. Okay, good to know. Trying to see if there's anything major that we are going to focus on in this video. It looks like we're going to want to make sure we get our trade convoy up in Axiom as soon as possible. So where are you going? Okay, so that resource pod is gone. So over here we have an alien drone. How tough are they? I guess I'm not entirely sure. We're going to try making a move towards him. You are going to keep on looking out over here, see if you see anything. You're going to chill. We'll just keep our, I guess you could call it like a hunter-killer team. I don't know. Try to find 2 units that work well together. So these, you can read to see what this does, see what kind of bonus they're getting because you're going to agree to their deal. But the only thing that I even see when I do these is 9 capital per turn. So right now we have 176 capital. We're making 11 per turn. Another 9. That's 20. That's almost double. Yes, let's do it. Sounds good to me. So Axiom, we actually do need to go ahead and pick something up. So you can see there's all these buildings, all these tempting. Pick me because I'm going to improve your health. Pick me because I'm going to improve your health. Pick me because I'm going to improve your health. But we're going to do, we could do something else. Okay, so we're going to do something else. But then what I was originally going to say. I was going to say, let's build a trade convoy and then, start working our production angle more. But this is what we're going to do. Their production overall seems pretty weak right now. So what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and just pick the clinic. It'll give us some science. It'll give us some health. That's what we're going to do for now. And you'll see what we have going on in just a minute. Well, maybe 2 minutes. It's coming up. Okay, so now I could have you get back to town is probably a good idea. You could go play with the aliens is another one. Do I need to really explore down there? It's probably not that important. So we're going to have you start making your way back. 2 drones. Our explorers are going to town, pick up some supplies. These guys are just out here exploring. Oh, that's interesting. So here, the drones are actually fairly tough as far as aliens go, and why can't you shoot him? So let's go ahead and shoot him. I don't think they get a defensive bonus because they're flyers. We could actually start shooting that, but that's going to take forever to destroy. Could you actually wipe one of these guys out? No, you can't. You can get close with damaging him, but I may want you to move up just to protect him. And why did we stop in a miasma? That wasn't very smart of me. Take note of when I'm not smart. You don't want to stand in miasmas. It'll do some damage to you. You know, entering the other one might have been the smarter idea, but I think we want to go ahead and try to weaken him as much as possible. He's probably going to fly off. Well, actually, he's probably just going to go ahead and attack us. So we have a decision to make. We could have our Cyto nurseries do 1 production, or we could have them do plus 5% production for military units from the Cyto nurseries. So purity as a victory condition, we are going to end up building, well, we're going to be able, if we go along the whole, I believe it's the Promised Land, we will be, I don't know, putting humans from Earth through a gate, like a Stargate. They'll arrive here and we're going to build them a new colony. So that is probably not as important as far as production of military units, although you want to have a strong military regardless. It is a little bit better option, say, if you're going supremacy. Is it going to be that big of a difference? Probably not. I like to actually have the production, you know, just in general, and I think that's going to be the way that we go, especially with Axiom, as it seems to be lacking in production. And that's what we're working on. Right now we're working on the clinic. We'll work on a Cyto nursery next. Oh, so then the other thing, no, I guess we don't have to worry about anything right now. Go ahead and hit next turn. Hit next turn. Get on with it. This jabbering. Okay, so they're going to fly around and flank us. Okay, so we're pretty tough. We survived. Although we're not doing that well right now. You are going to keep on moving. Let's see. This explorer, what do I want to have you do? Where can you go? Where can you go? You could go out there, which I think was probably covered by something. You go over there. You go over here. I think we're probably going to have you head over that way. And I could just do the, hey, start running that direction, but we're going to go a little different route. Do I want to start shooting that? Not really. What I could do is bring my gunboat around, and then they will start attacking together. Yeah, that's up there's not going to be a bad spot. Okay, so let's go ahead and start shooting on this guy. And then we'll go ahead and roll him over. So you can see here when we kill him, we are actually picking up 15 science. Nice, I like it. Okay, so again, what am I seeing? 9 capital per turn. You just ignore Samatar and say 9 capital per turn, do it. 9 capital per turn, do it. So now we just, I don't know, we like tripled our capital per turn just from ignoring what they're saying and hitting yes. I think that's an excellent idea. Okay, so now we have some options. So what we did down here is we had the opportunity to build a trade convoy and we passed on it. However, up here it says, oh, you don't want to build a trade convoy. In fact, it says, warning, this city has no available trade route slots and will not be able to use this unit immediately. So take note of that. It's in red, so it's kind of warning you off. Don't do this. Well, what we can do is we can actually go to our trade route. You know, down you can see your available routes, all that type of stuff. So it's not really telling us the information that we want to know, which is not good. So how are we going to figure this out? Well, let's look up trade routes. So we want to know what exactly is going on. Does trade route come up? So internal trade routes, establishing a trade route. Maybe just look at the trade routes in general. Let's see here. Is this going to tell us anything important that we want to know? You know, it really doesn't. Why is that? Let's figure this out. So establishing a trade route. Does this tell us anything important? You know, it's not really telling us what we want to know. It's very disappointing. Yeah, it's basically not telling us what we want to know. What else can we do? We can click on our trade convoy. That's not going to tell us anything. So what we have to do, and I'm sure we probably could dig and find it, but what I'm basically looking for is every city is going to have one trade route available to them. So when we did go look at our trade route overview, we can see that we have one trade route going from Central to Axiom. So we know we have one trade route that is currently active. And it's not going to tell us anywhere that I'm seeing where it says that Axiom actually has a trade route available. Now when our trade route basically is done, when it has finished these 3 turns, it'll come up and say, hey, where do you want to send me now? We will see that you could actually send him to Axiom. You'd actually be able to, there's actually, I'll show you when we get to it. Anyways, my point is, each city is going to be able to have a trade route. You get a second trade route once your city's population hits 10. And there are ways to reduce that so it can be like at population 7. It's going to include some technologies, and we're probably not going to go that route. But anyways, what we need to know is we could have 2 trade routes going. Right now we only have 1, and they have to originate from a different city. So what we're going to do is we are going to build a trade route in Central, despite the warning. It'll be done in 7 turns, and then we're going to send that trade convoy to Axiom and then have them trade. So let's go ahead and do that. I know that was a lot of dinking around just to get that little bit of information. You know, and sometimes the Civilopedia does not have, you know, the information that you want to know. Sometimes it's a little bit of work. Sometimes you just kind of need to know what else is going on. It's a little bit frustrating, I think. But sometimes that's just the way it is. Okay, so you're working your way around. Again, make sure, yes, so you can see here, he's yellow or orange, whatever you want to call it. So he's a little bit upset. So our explorer, since he is traveling away, and I don't know if it's safe, what we're going to do is we're actually going to send our cutter with him. So we're just going to keep him on top of him, have them double up on the tile, and hit the do nothing, the space bar, so they will basically be a team. They will be like Batman and Robin moving along, protecting each other. Okay, so he's not real sweet and getting in our face too soon. We're going to go ahead and check out this colony here. Hey, what are you doing building near me? How dare you? And that's okay. So what was I getting excited about? What's there? We want to build another city down here by that float stone. What's up here? I think that says 2 float stone. But I think I was actually considering switching over to supremacy since we have all kinds of Firaxite. I mean, we have 2 9-resource nodes of Firaxite, which is pretty amazing. So we might actually switch over to supremacy, or maybe even do a hybrid. You know, that would be pretty cool. Oh, that's pretty tricky there, Chung Su. Pretty tricky. Hiding the guy behind the island, that's a pretty good way to do things. Okay, so we can see here our trade route, our trade convoy has come up. So there's actually a button down here that says Change Origin City. So it'll say Axiom does have 1 trade route available. I wish I knew how to get to this without actually looking at that particular, you know, waiting for them to auto-renew. So anyways, we're actually going to keep it in Central. Now you can see that the benefits with Axiom, you know, we can still give them 3 production, but we may want to look at our other options. So you can see now we have more options available to us. Lots of cities are out there. It's a lot of information. So there are some filters within here. So one, we can go by the sponsor name. So I think that'll organize that alphabetically by the sponsor or the civilization name. We can go by city name. We can go by the nearest destination. Nearest destination can be nice when you're at war, as long as you're not sending it into the people that you're at war with. We can see who will give us the highest energy. So if we send it to Sarah, we will get +4 energy. However, they get 11 energy. So if we go down to the next option, which is highest energy delta, well, geez, that's not the highest energy. That's only 3. But liqueur is only going to get 5. So basically, I think the way that the highest energy delta means is we're going to get the biggest return possible without giving up as much energy in return. So it's basically saying, we want to make sure that we're getting a good deal and they're not getting as good of a deal, and they're going to call that the highest energy delta. And maybe it probably has a better scientific description for how that works, but that's basically what I've had to figure out. So then we have our highest science option. So you can see we can pick up 3 science here, but they're going to pick up 9. So then if we go down to highest science delta, it's saying a 1-to-1 deals, the best, but not really. We can also see who will give us the most food, which is obviously just going to be an internal trade route or with one of the stations, which we only have 1 station right now. So we got to figure out what we want to do. So we could go with Axiom. And another good thing to think about when you're actually looking at all these trade opportunities is that if you have a weaker city, you're going to want to send their trade routes to bigger foreign cities because they will have a bigger, what you would call a delta, I guess. You'll see it on here in a few turns once we get our other convoy down there. But what we're going to do is we're going to continue with Axiom, just so Axiom will get this +3 production per turn so they can build out their stuff a little bit faster early on here in their existence. Okay, so you are hurting just a little bit, so you're going to go ahead and rest up. We're going to keep on moving you, and I'm trying to avoid moving you more than 2 turns in any single click, just so you don't go get slaughtered. We'll just have you 2 heal right there. Let's see, I guess you could step forward. Maybe keep you right there, have you start healing. Take a big swig of water, because I know I am talking more than anybody probably wants to actually hear. Okay, so we're going to keep on moving. Not that we need to send him up here, but we might as well. Maybe have him step up here to kind of keep an eye out. So these 2, I set them both on heal, so they're not going to auto aggro or anything like that, but we probably should get to weakening this guy. Good job. Shoot the scarab. Wow, we're going to be able to wipe him out. Okay, there we go. So then we will go ahead and pick up our... we only picked up 11 science off of him. He must not be quite as tough. We probably could have boosted... Let's take a look here. Can we boost... Yes, we could have. We could have made an extra 3 science, but I was not paying attention. Can you believe that? Not paying attention. Let's see here. Where are we at with our science? 31 turns. That's going to be important because we are actually going to pick up some spies eventually. And so we may want to upgrade our covert operations, which is her character trait. But I think we're going to go ahead and just keep on going with the science. Our science is pretty good. We're getting some bonus science from doing things. Got some aliens. Looks like these are marshes. So I don't think they can do a double move across them. Or move 2 tiles, I should say, not a double move. My mind's on Pathfinder now. I'm ready for some tabletop gaming, I guess. Okay, so we're just trying to get you back. I'd probably just go ahead and click off into the unknown. Where do we want to go? We want to go over there, so we're heading in the right direction. Spacebar, next turn. Sickness and diseases are mistakes, correct them. So they're making fun of our lack of healthy living conditions. So they will insult you. They will get on your nerves a little bit by saying, hey, why don't you do things differently? You know, so you have to be aware that they will be a little annoying at times. So you can keep on moving around. Is there anything else up there? It looks like we have some ice. We'll go check it out in a minute. We might start working on this hydra coral, just so you can kind of see what that looks like. Seem to have picked up a slight cough. Okay, so they are into town. Where do I want to have them go next? Where next? Is there anywhere I could have them go? I could have them go down there and explore. You know, that's probably not a bad idea. Okay, so we do have our trade convoy available. So now I'm going to go to look at established trade route. Central has no trade route slots available. Why'd you let me build this? Well, we need to change our origin, city of origin. So we're going to send it over to Axiom. It'll take a turn to get there. And I know I'm a little bit over dramatic at times. Okay, so we're going to keep on moving down. Let's see, you will keep on going this direction. Okay, so I wanted to move this guy, but he was camped out. Well, that's interesting. What happened to that hydra coral? Okay, so we need to build something new. What do I want to build? You know, a colonist would not be a bad idea, although our health is not the best, but we really would like to secure that location. So I think we're going to go ahead and build a colonist. You know, I could save up and buy one. You know, maybe we want to do a thorium reactor just to boost our energy. We're down to only +8 per turn. You know, we do have a few units. You know, let's go with that. I think we're kind of in a mode where we need to make some more money. More money, more money, more money, right? Okay, so what else do we want to build? Here, I think we probably go with the Cyto Nursery. We're going to get some production, some science, and some health. That sounds good to me. We also picked up some population in Axiom. Let's go take a look to see what we can do. You know, they're working a tile, and it's obviously the best tile available. I guess we can go ahead and just lock it in. Just so we can sleep better at night, I guess. I don't know. So we're okay. We're doing alright. If I was Chung Su, I'd obviously be attacking, since we don't really have anybody defending. But I'm not Chung Su. Not today, anyways. So we're going to go ahead and go over to that tile that we just locked in and start working that one. We're going to have you start moving. Should have you go that way. We will rearrange. So now our trade route, our trade convoy is now in Axiom. So where do we want to send it? Let's go ahead and look at, so we're getting low on energy, in my opinion. So we want to look at highest energy possible. So we can get 6 energy from Liqueur. They would only be getting 3 from us. Now if we did that with Central, which is our capital city up here, it would probably be flipped. And we're getting 4 science, we're only giving them 2. I like that. What's our highest energy delta? Same thing, it's Liqueur, so I think we want to go with Liqueur. So we're trading with the French. I don't know if that's smart, I don't know if it's a bad idea, but we're doing it. So that hydra coral must have either died or I don't know what happened. I seriously don't know what happened. So we're going to get you into Central so we have some type of defense available. Okay, so sometimes when you have guys healing, you're not paying attention to what else is going on. So we're going to have you step back, you're going to shoot. And for some reason I thought the marsh, no, the marsh, we'll test it out here. If we select you, can you actually move over there and attack them? You can't. Do we want to keep you there or move you up to that hill? Let's move you to the hill. The wolf beetles are a little bit tougher than some of the other aliens, so we might want to respect them a little bit. I think that's probably a decent decision. Yep, there they charge right into us and wipe themselves out. Kind of makes me wonder if that's what the dinosaurs did. They just charged right into certain death and wiped themselves out. Okay, so I guess we can head back and start exploring a little bit. Start working this tile, build a farm. I want you to go down this way, stand in miasma so you make sure that you are taking damage needlessly. We're heading into the big miasma mess here. So you can't attack, but we can move forward, so he's not going to be able to move past him. You'll have some limited movement. Maybe I should explain that a little bit better. So right now, if this alien scarab, he can't attack our ranger because this guy has a threatening zone around him, so every tile that's next to him is basically, he's not going to be able to move. He's only going to be able to move one. So you can just go there. So he's not going to go there. He's probably going to charge him instead. So sometimes you can use your positioning to slow people down to protect either an injured unit, a weaker unit, you know, a unit that doesn't have as great a defense against, say, melee or something. So that's something to take note of. To make sure you're putting yourself in your best position so your soldiers are surviving. And typically the AI is going to attack the closest guy. 14 more science. I like that. Poor aliens are stuck on that island. Let's see, where could you go? You know, we may be in line to kind of sit still and heal for a turn or two. Maybe you'll go forward just to give him some friendliness. I don't know. Oh, there's an alien. So a cool thing you can do with your ranged naval units, you can actually just shoot the guys on shore. They can't attack you back, and you pick up easy XP. Not a bad move. I'm going to put you on alert. Hit next turn. Yeah, I seem to pick up a cough. Not cool at all. Gotta figure out who I was hanging around today that was sick. And teach them a few things. Okay, so we're going to actually send our cutter out. Kind of just look around. We're going to stay close to him so we can come back and defend him if need be. So we will want to go after those alien skeletons that are sitting over there. So you will sit tight. So this guy's actually a ranged unit. How do we want to work this? You know, we may just want to back up. I think we may just back up. And not that I'm that afraid of them. I'd rather just see if one of them will move forward and we can maybe just attack one at a time. And again, we're still trying to heal a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and shoot him, wipe him out. That looked pretty cool. Oh, look at this, more Firaxite. How much is that? It's only 2, and there's an empty alien nest. Well, we could try to sneak in there and get some easy science. 90 science if we get in there and pick that up. We're hoping. We're hoping and wishing. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, so you are still looking around. We're trying to stay fairly close to our explorer so we can get back there and protect him. Okay, so this guy, we can't actually get in there to attack him. So if we can get him to move forward one more. What could we do? Yeah, let's do that. Let's move back. Fortify and heal. Let's see what I want to have you do. Maybe you can just go up here, see if there's any resource pods. Okay, so you're going to get on there. You're going to go ahead and pillage. 90 science, 37 food from our explorer. That's pretty awesome. You could shoot, but he's probably going to do more damage back, so we're going to take another step back. And he's probably not going to move forward, but we can heal a little bit. And if he does move forward, then we're going to go in there and attack him. So we did have another station show up. Did they just land out in the middle of the ocean? They did. Palantine. Cool. Okay, so we're just running through some miasma. Why not? Why not? Okay, so we have another Chung-Su cutter down there. What do you see? Okay, so keep them on and go 4 turns because eventually their movement gets upgraded. But until then, it kind of messes me up. Is that guy moving? Well, he didn't really move into a spot that's doing us any favors, so let's go ahead, step back. And again, I'm just trying to heal up our Marine, who was once a soldier. He's once a soldier, now he's a Marine. So when you upgrade them once, they become a Marine, or various other things. I'm not sure if it's the same for every faction or every sponsor. You keep on going. Okay, you found all kinds of aliens. There's hills, so they shouldn't be able to get an attack in on us. And maybe let's get in here and go ahead and shoot somebody. Let's shoot him. I wanted to do additional things. Look at that, that's pretty mineral rich. Is that titanium? It helps if I'm not directly over it. What is that? Titanium, 6 titanium. That's pretty nice. Okay, so I wanted to select my other soldier unit, but since he is fortified and healing, we can't get to him. Something else I probably should show you. So let's say that you do have a unit, and they just, you can't figure out where they're at. Can we go into here? Yes, so we can. So what you can do is you can go into your military overview. And here it's going to tell you that our base supply is 5, our cities add 4, our population adds 6. We have a total supply, so that's going to be how many supplies, food, I don't know, guns, ammo, we can supply. In use, we have 12, so that means I think we can make 3 additional units. Some units may count as more than 1, just because they're big, or they're strong, or whatever. So anyways, we're pretty close to our maximum, and I think you can go over it a bit. I don't have exact numbers on it, but sometimes that's worth looking at, because sometimes you can actually run out of units. And in the end game, you know, if you really want to build a huge military, you may want to keep an eye on this. You will get a warning up at the top of the screen that'll have an exclamation mark, actually be right over here. And if you, it doesn't really say anything in the game, but if you mouse over, it'll say your supply is over, and then you will have a reduced production for all kinds of things, and there may be some other things with it. Anyways, from here you can actually select units and see what they're up to. So if you have somebody camp somewhere and you're like, I know I had an explorer, but I don't know where he went, I can't find him, you know, I'm playing a multiplayer game and I want to, you know, not waste everybody's time by looking for a stupid unit, you can just click on them like that. Let's see here, where's what button? I think there should be a button. Is it shift? No. Let's see if I can figure this out real quick. See if there is a center on unit. There's not. You know, I could be thinking of another game. But from here, you can actually delete the unit, sell them for energy. You go on auto. You could do nothing. But you essentially, you could have them do something. I wonder if I click on something here. If I go to route mode, no, that's not gonna do us any good. Anyways, I'll have to look into that. Maybe we'll get that in the next video. I obviously do not remember exactly how to get to a unit that you say may be lost. Oh, and I just thought of what I could do. I know what we can do. I got it figured out, and I'll show you. We're going to wait till we switch over to a different unit. Okay, so let's say we are here, and we have an explorer that we don't know where he's at. So we want to go to our military overview. And there's probably going to be a way better way to do this. So we're going to go to this guy that's embarked. He's busy doing something, obviously. So what we can do is hit the M key. Oh, well, where the heck is he at? And you can backtrack where he's at. You know, there's probably a better way to do it. I just can't remember what it is. It's going to drive me crazy. But you can actually find them with that. If you hit the M key, it'll say movement, and you're probably going to be, you can kind of track them back to where they're at. You can hit escape, and they'll continue doing what they're doing, or you can just click on what they were doing, and you will be good. Let's go ahead and keep on blasting this guy. You are going to continue to do some exploring up on the Arctic. Let's see, you're in bad shape. I mean, you can't kill either of them, but you could step back. Let's do that, and let's have you heal. Let's see what happens. You can go here and finish him off. You're not going to be standing in miasma because we've been backing up, working towards our favor. And so when they're actually in miasma, they actually heal, which is another thing to know. What do I want to build here? So we're still low on health. And honestly, there's not much that we can do about it right now. So what we're going to do is basically ignore the existence of our lack of health, and we're going to start building a colonist. I guess we could also look at our diplomatic situation. We can go ahead and upgrade and finish upgrading our science boost. I don't know if that's our best move right now, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it. We're going to do it all day, all game long. Okay, so we're working on that. We gained some veterancy with our ranger, which is nice. We're going to have him just sit here and heal. And primarily it's so the other guy can heal, so our soldier, our marine can heal. Wow, Lacour's way down here. Holy cow. So when you see an alien kraken, you go the other way. Simply put, you go the other way. I don't think it makes much difference which direction I go. You want to get out of their sight. They can basically drop you in a turn. They're one of the tougher things in the game. You're going to heal. We're going to do our quest decision. More energy, more production. Let's do the more energy with the thorium reactors. We build them for energy, so why not have them really crank it out? We're up to 23 energy per turn, which is pretty nice. Oh, when you are building a colonist, you do not gain any growth as far as your population goes, so there's no number under there.
We've all come a long way. I welcome you on behalf of the North Sea Alliance.
So here we got the North Sea Alliance. Nice to meet you. Don't settle near us. That's about all I can say. Okay, we're going to start heading back over to him, because I think he is probably pretty close to being done with what he's got going on. Look at that Morphoraxite. We should have went Supremacy initially. That's okay. You're always going to get one or two, or, you know, you're going to get some extra affinity towards maybe an affinity that you're not aiming for. So that's nothing to get overly concerned about. And what's this? We got another alien moving in on us. Looks like he just ran into his own doom. 18 science, though. You have to like that. It's very nice. Oh, how's our explorer doing? Oh, they started to leave him alone. Kind of forgot about him. As you can see, it is very easy to forget about some things going on in the game. Happens all the time. The question is, you know, how much can you manage and how much can you remember what's going on? Because it's really easy to pass something up. So Axiom, I think we're going to go ahead and go for the Pharma Lab, just because I want to get my health up, because we're looking at building another colonist. Do I want to do that first, though, is a big question. Let's go ahead and go with the thorium reactor first. I like money. And then we're going to go ahead and make Pharma Labs +1. Let's do +1 health. That should give us 1 there, and it'll give us an extra 1 when we build it here. So our expedition netted us 80 production. So our colonist is now built, which I was not quite expecting that. Sometimes you just have to realize that the unexpected can happen. So if I keep on moving him, since I had him just go to sleep there, at least I think I did, it's going to go off somewhere else. I'm going to have to scroll back down here or whatever. So what I do is I go ahead and grab him, Hit the space bar. We're still going to have to go back there and move our other guy, our explorer. We have a siege worm now. I have a plan for that siege worm. What we're going to do with the siege worm is bring down our patrol, not our patrol boat. What boat is that? The gunboat. We're going to have him start shooting at him. Can we build a petroleum well? I think we probably can. Let's go ahead and move over there. Alien Kraken. Okay, so I didn't get everybody I wanted to move. I wanted to move you as well. So we could do that. Going into the miasma, but... Yes, thank you for the 9 diplomatic capital per turn. I really appreciate it. Okay, so now we have finished that. So now there's a few different options that we can actually work on. You know, we could actually go and do the vivarium, which would allow us to grow a little bit faster. You know, and some people, they're going to swear by build up all your food first. You're working more tiles, you know, which is always good. You know, that's another way to get production. But, I don't know, I think I like going production first. And who knows, maybe someone can prove that one is better than the other. And I'm wrong. I'm wrong, I don't know what I'm talking about. But it works for me. More population also means more in health as well. I was hoping I'd actually see the siege worm. There he is. The Kraken. Never attack those guys from shore. Because I think they can actually attack you from shore. They won't attack my worker, I don't think. Okay, so you're done healing. Maybe we'll have you quickly move that direction. Worst comes to worst, you can jump in the water. They won't chase you. And I think we're probably getting at a point where we are going to want to stop. Let's wait. We have computing one more turn. So let's go ahead and finish that up. I think is a good idea. Okay, so we have completed computing, which was a quest. So now it says build 1 spy agency building.
I love computers because
I love computers too, obviously. So we now have 2 purity, 2 purity, and we have 1 supremacy. So we're gonna go ahead and move these guys. We are. Why did you move there? That was not very nice. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and shoot the siege worm. As you can see, they are very tough. We barely dented him. What can you do? You can just go ahead and keep on exploring. We're going to go up and go to that. We'll have you chill out for a second. Continue going this way. Okay, so we are fighting a siege worm. We're about to put down our 2nd colonist. We would have our 3rd city. You know, we may want to look at our trade route overview quickly. So in 3 turns, we can take our trade route that's going from central to Axiom and make it go central to whatever this colonist is going to be. That is something that we should know. Let's see here. Our next science. Maybe we'll leave this for next time. Let's leave that for next time. It's a good talking point. We'll go ahead and we'll do these upgrades real quick, as there's not a whole lot of decision making in the process. So our cruiser, formerly our gunboat, as you can see, their names change, so sometimes it can be a bit confusing, mainly as you communicate it to other people and say, hey, I just saw your cruiser, and you're thinking, oh, what the heck's a cruiser? I have a gunboat. But no, it got promoted and it goes from a gunboat to a cruiser. And what was it at one time? At one time, and maybe it started out as a gunboat. So anyways, let's go ahead and upgrade it. So it can be plus 20% against land units, which would be useful right now as we're fighting the siege worm. However, I want to have them best against sea units since they are a naval unit. So let's go ahead and do that. Our ranger, what are your options? So you can gain plus 5 hit points heal when not embarked, which would probably be pretty decent as I'm moving into the miasma. Or they could get plus 30% when defending against ranged. So I actually like that better. I think building up their defense is going to make them so they can live longer in a situation that you can control. You know, healing a little bit more can be useful throughout the game, but I think the plus 30% defending against range is going to be a little bit more useful when it gets down to the nitty-gritty. Okay, we're going to pick our science in the next video. I'd like to thank you all for watching Civilization Beyond Earth with the Rising Tide expansion. I'm Chris Cavalier. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do so. You can go ahead and criticize my gaming play here. Again, this is just a tutorial trying to show some friend or friends some of the little things that you can do to build up your cities a little bit faster. And again, this is not necessarily the best way or the correct way or whatever you want to call it, as there are different ways to play the game. It just kind of gives them an option to see what they can do to really have a focused build. And again, I'm saying that my focus is going to be production first, then energy, then science, then culture, and then health. And then health can sometimes rise up in priority, and any of them can change around in priority based upon conditions that you are facing in that current game, which could happen for a bunch of different reasons. Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.